Hi, hello. Congratulations on completing the foundation module of our course. And now we are going to move on to the next module called define phase. So typically Six Sigma projects are conducted using the DMAC methodology, in which the D stands for define. Defining the project is the first phase. So what are all the steps involved while defining a Six Sigma project? The tools that are required to properly define a project, and then the main deliverable that we can expect at the end of the define phase. So this is what we are going to understand in the introductory lesson about define phase. So we have the define phase toll gate review. We are going to understand about it. And then we're also going to understand about the steps that are involved in the define phase. There are 3 steps. We are going to see about them. And then the main deliverable at the end of the define phase. Then the tools, define phase tools. So I'll just introduce all these things in a overview level. And then in the subsequent lessons, we'll go deeper. So define phase toll gate review. Generally, companies practicing Six Sigma, they have the stage called toll gate review, where the work done by the Six Sigma project team will be reviewed by the project champion, sponsor, and then the black belts and comprising of the black belts and master black belts in the company. And at that point of time, there will be certain critical questions that will be asked, and the team should be able to clarify and then provide details. So this is called a toll gate review. And if it is satisfactory, the team can move on to the next phase, which is called measure phase. The first question that gets answered in the define phase is this project important to the business? Of course, you have identified a project. Your project is important to you. Your project goal is important to you. But now the question is, how this project is important to the business? Because the business has got its own goal, right? The business goals, and generally they are called strategic goals. So what is the relevance of this project goal with respect to the strategic goal of the organization? That means, is there a goal alignment between what you are trying to do and what the company is wanting to achieve? That should be clarified. If the alignment is understood, then the chance for getting your project approved will be very high. If your project is not at all aligned with the organization strategy, then obviously that will not get prioritized. That's the first question. And the second question, does a business case exist in your project? You are going to do a project for 3 months, 4 months, and then you are going to consume resources, consume time. You are going to put a lot of additional effort. Thereby, your regular routine activities might get delayed or disturbed. And so there is an investment involved. There is a heavy investment involved. If the company is going to invest such a amount of resource in your project, what is that the company is going to get back? What is the return on investment, right? And what will be the savings? What will be the increase in our business result? And this is called a business case. If there is no business case, I'm sure no company will be interested in sponsoring or supporting any project. And the third important question that should get answered is, have you identified the CTQs? CTQs are nothing but the critical quality characteristics. CTQ stands for critical to quality characteristics. That means the pain metric, the pain metric that you are trying to solve is understood clearly in the form of a CTQ. CTQ is a measurable metric, right? So if the measurable metrics about the problems are not identified, it simply means the problem is not understood correctly, right? So if you say you have defined the problem, it simply means you are able to express the problem in the form of certain KPIs. I mean certain metrics, and such metrics are called critical to quality characteristics. That means whether the problem is related to the lead time, or whether the problem is related to the the dimensional requirement of the product, or whether the problem is related to, let's say, the surface finish of the product, what it is, right? So that's called critical to quality characteristics. Generally, critical to quality characteristics are derived from the voice of the customer by converting the vague expressions of the customers into specific statements, and then if you make them measurable, they'll be called CTQs. For solving one problem, there could be many CTQs. And do you really have identified those CTQs? Are you also able to measure those CTQs using appropriate unit? And that's the third question. And the fourth question, are project plans and key milestones defined? Are project plans and key milestones defined? So if the project duration is for about 3 months, and what will you do in the first month, second month, and third month? And every month, what will you do in first week, second week, third week, and fourth week? And then what are the deliverables I can expect at the end of every week, and who is going to be responsible for that? And a clear plan should be available. And then project boundaries and stakeholders, and whose problem you are trying to solve. And if the problem is solved, who will be benefited? And if the problem is not solved, and who will continue to get affected? And this will help you to understand the scope of the project. And so these are the important questions. We call it the toll gate review questions. The project team should be able to answer at the end of define phase. So these are the 3 important steps in the define phase. First step, project identification, otherwise called problem identification. And step number 2, if there are so many problems, and how to select or how to prioritize the problem. First of all, we should figure out whether the problem is suitable for Six Sigma methodology. And if it is found suitable, and if there are many such projects, we should also be able to prioritize them, which is most important out of the list of projects. And then the most important one, we need to prepare a detailed execution plan. We call it project charter. And then along with the project charter, we will also prepare a high-level process map. And these are the 3 important steps. And ultimately, the deliverable at the end of the define phase is an approved project charter. And looking at the execution plan, the project charter document submitted by you, the project sponsor, if he is impressed or convinced with the kind of effort and kind of result the team is proposing, he will approve your project charter, and that will bring your project to live. So the main deliverable at the end of the define phase is approved project charter and high-level process map. And these are all the tools you can use to execute the define phase steps effectively. For project identification, tools such as voice of customer, voice of business, cost of poor quality, CTQ tree, Pareto for problem stratification, Y equal to F of X, brainstorming, Kano model, and these are all the tools. And this is a recommended tools by me. And of course, if some other tools are found to be relevant for project identification, yes, you can use them. And then for project selection, you can use tools such as project prioritization metrics. And then for the project, getting the project approved, you can use project charter and then SIPOC. SIPOC stands for supplier, input, process, output, and customer. A high-level view of the process expressed in the form of a SIPOC. And then for a new product development project using the DMADV methodology, and we also call such project as DFSS project, which means Design for Six Sigma. Over and above using all the other tools, you can also think of using these tools like surveys, using questionnaires, and tools such as cost of quality, which will include cost of good quality as well as cost of poor quality, and then Kano model, quality function deployment, and any other relevant tools. So with these tools and techniques in place, I'm sure you will be able to define any project effectively. And not only that, you can also get it approved by your project sponsor. So we'll see the details of each and every step and the tools in the subsequent videos. Thank you.